Good morning, Farmer Rob here from Cannon Hall Farm. Hope you're well. How's things? Oh, did you sleep okay? Sleep is something that used to come very, very easily. And I always start off asleep pretty well. But then gets to about, I don't know, 4 o'clock or something, and you think, is it morning yet? Is it time to get up? And you know, I'm ready for getting up and at 'em, but I think if I get up now, I'm going to be awfully tired tonight. So it's one of those, isn't it? You try and pace yourself to get through the day in the right way. Right. So let's get cracking here. And I'm looking at Fern, the Highland cow, because she's bagging up, and that means that not being able to sleep for the whole of the night suddenly becomes an advantage, because you can check the cameras and make sure that everything in her little garden is rosy, because that's what we want more than anything. We want her to have a successful conclusion to her pregnancy. And now our elder statesman, our older lady, gets up and has a stretch, and I've just a bit of a feeling that she's got a bit of maybe a pinched nerve or something, or, you know, she just seems to be a little bit stiff on one side at the back. Come on, Flower. Come on. Come on. Come on. There you go. Here comes Winston. So this is Fern, and she's got a wonderful set of horns, hasn't she? Really good cow, really good foundation cow. Dad bought her up at Auburn many moons ago. What will it be? 7 or 8 years ago, I would think, maybe there or thereabouts. Go on, Flower. Go on. Go on, let's see you. Go on. Into the light. She's just a bit stiff, isn't she? Go on. There we are. But we're all a bit stiff on a morning as we get a little bit older. I certainly am. So she's just a bit tender on that foot, so I might think about some pain relief and maybe just get her out for a walk. You know, maybe a little bit more of a stretch. She'd go into the toilet. That's all perfectly natural. So anyway, I'll give that some thought. But that's Fern getting closer to calf. She's not there yet, but she's getting closer. So yeah, that's all good. So next door is Lynn. Now Lynn we bought from our good friend Kevin up at Brechin, and Lynn got second at the Yorkshire show, so we're really chuffed with that. I actually showed her. She was a bit of an handful, you know. I had to sort of, you know, she kept wanting to go back to the cow shed every time we went past the gate. So I had to persuade her that it was another lap of the track. She's had a really good calf. You know, we think that calf could be something really smart, and she'll be washed this week with a view to getting ready to go to Westmorland next week, and then Penistone the following Saturday, week on Saturday. So we've got a couple of good outings for her, and then after that she'll go outside them for a few months and enjoy a little bit of late summer / autumn grazing. So that's the plan for her. Obviously, this bit of rain now is turning the grass green. It's proper colour. It's looked a little bit like the Saharan desert. Some of the grazing paddocks have totally burnt off at the moment. But you know, weather like this, it's just that little bit sort of misty and damp, and you know, it's not filling the reservoirs, but it will bring the grass back to life. So it's more than useful. So that is Pearl. Pearl has got a patchy spirit, showing a bit of spirit. Who are you? I know you are, but what's your name? I've forgotten it. Someone help me out here. This one belongs to Rainbow. Oh, goodness me. Someone will tell me. 1,300 people watching now. We are slowly building an audience. We've got Rainbow there. We've got Casey there. There's just a chance Casey might be going to Penistone show. So look out for her there if you're going. Now we've got a little bundle of delight in here. Lots of them, and absolutely fabulous. I mean, there was a little reel shared on our Facebook page, wasn't there, a few days ago, that's got to nearly 1 million views, and it's the little donkeys going outside, and this little new one. This is the one who always stops for a scratch. He's such a lovable kid, aren't you? Eh? And they're all lovable. They're all friendly. They're all fantastic. And that's our latest new arrival. Still sporting his iodine socks. Oh, she is. Look at this one. They won't leave me alone. That one belongs to Jess. That's Jess. And you're a little beauty, aren't you? Is this your big brother? Eh? And they're so friendly. And I think what's undoubtedly helped them become even friendlier than normal is the mini donkey experience people. If you visit the website, what are they called? The animal experiences, and people can come in here and be scout. Thank you, Val. Laura says scout. Dawn says hi from Australia. I'm not going to say good day. And Pearl's Fall is Dakota. So who's Apache Spirit? Oh, Apache Spirit's the spotty one. Flipping heck. My memory is terrible. Jigsaw for the newest donkey. That's a great name because look at it. It is like a jigsaw, isn't it? Look at that. Look at that. It's climbing on its mum. Fabulous. And it's got it's tri-coloured. It's black, tan and white. Sally spent 50 stars, thank you. Mandy Whittaker says morning Farmer Rob, and Patsy says good morning Rob. Good morning to everyone. 1,500. Let's have a look. Jeanette says morning Rob from a wet Isle of Man. Hilary says good morning all. And Christine says good morning everyone. Helen sent 100 stars. And Sally says, good morning, Rob, and everyone. Good morning. June O'Neill says, morning, Rob and Dave. So, not only are the babies friendly, the mums are. They're all around you, all fussing you. But that one certainly catches the eye, doesn't it? Jigsaw, I think, is a great name suggestion, actually. It's a little girl. And Julie says, good morning. We're off. So, I'm afraid today's indoor play, because it's a little bit... a bit wet and there's thundery showers expected. We'll keep the kids indoors, a little bit like school, indoor play today. Oh no, I remember those days. But it's not stopping that one charging about and having fun, is it? Yeah. Look at that. Pam sent 200 stars. Thanks, Pam. Mary sent 45 stars, thank you. Caller Trio says Shirley. Christine says, good morning Rob, love all your animals, and so do we. That's Sally. I think that one is Pearl. I think that one is Raspberry. I think that's Bambi. That's Jess. Not sure what that one is. That's the mum to the slightly older one. And we all know who this chap is. He is Murphy. He struggles to remember his name. So this is Murphy. Murphy's in for a pre-movement TB test, which was taken yesterday. Results on Friday. We're very much hoping everything's okay. And then he'll be off to Westmorland and Penistone as well. So it's a big week for our show team. Barbara says it's the best name ever for Jigsaw. It is a really good name, that. Trish is late. Sorry, I just woke up. Don't worry, so was I. And Jean says, all the baby donkeys are so cute. They absolutely are. So Linda says, call her Trixie. It will fit in with the tricolour. Another great suggestion. And Mary says, morning everyone at Cannon Hall Farm. Joan says, they are so cute and full of mischief. Delia says, morning Rob. Jigsaw for the new donkey foal. Heavy rain here at Worcester. Very much needed. And Christian says, does Pip help with the sheep gathering farm, Rob? She doesn't anymore, I'm afraid. I wish she could, but she's sort of lost it a little bit. But she's still a lovable dog, and you know, is a fantastic temperament. And but she, you know, she's no longer that controllable. But as they get older, that's sort of what happens. But anyway, she's still having a great life. Dawn says, love seeing Josh on Educating Yorkshire. He's really got his work cut out. Yeah. So did anyone? I've taped it. I haven't watched it yet. Did anyone watch Educating Yorkshire? Young Farmer of the Year, Josh, worked here for many moons. Was an integral part of the business over through lockdown. You know, he worked in the production at the bakery, the butchery, the farm shop. He worked everywhere, and was really useful actually, and did a great job. And then he came back to the farm once the farm opened back up, and he won the title of Young Farmer of the Year, a prestigious award. Nominated and judged by me, but he was the only young farmer we had at the time. But don't let that devalue the prize, because it was of no surprise to me that he went on to be a teacher. It's no surprise that he's going to be a great teacher, and I'm looking forward to watching him on Educating Yorkshire every week. And the programme is made by Emily, who used to make This Week on the Farm, and she's one of the nicest people you'll ever come across. So yeah, I'll be watching that with interest. Patsy says, do all the cows have to get a TB test there? And is it only bovine that need it? Yes. That's from Patsy. And it's only when you take them to things like shows, certain shows in other areas, they need a pre-movement TB test. So yeah, that's something that we have to do. It's a cost we have to bear if we want to go to places like Westmorland, which are sort of out of our area. Diane says, beautiful pictures. Mandy says, very good, gosh. And Sue says, good morning, Farmer Rob, and all Cannon Hall Farm supporters. Good morning to everyone. Sue says, yes, Educating Yorkshire, the young lads speak stutter incredible improvement. I'm looking forward to watching it. Tara says, yes, it is good. Jeanette says, yes, I did see he was very good. Lovely to see him. Watch on Catch Up Rob. Yvonne says, has Nellie settled back into school yet? I've not seen her since she went back, but I'm sure she will. That girl will take it in her stride. Anita says, anyone else is coming up as a real so annoying? No heck. Sue says, congratulations to everyone celebrating a birthday or wedding anniversary. And Delia says, how's Boomerang doing at Ruth? Yes, I've been watching Josh on Educating Yorkshire. He's doing fantastically well, and we'll be talking about that and everything around it in the very near future. Val says, I missed it. Ali says, morning, Farmer Robert, and everyone watching from a wet Warwickshire. So big news on the goat front, right? All these ladies in this pen, and I got a shock of my life. Not quite the shock of my life, but I got a fair shock in the sense that they're all pregnant, right? And they're all pregnant for come on, when are they pregnant for? October half term. So the Pumpkin Festival is going to have a new dimension. Dinah wants to watch Educating Yorkshire in the US. I hope you can. What is Josh's surname? Says Karen. It's Geary, Mr. Geary. Victoria says, good morning all at Cannon Hall Farm from a soggy Kent. Awake. Pauline watched it. It was good. Heather says, I'm not sure what you mean. Mine is okay. Carla says, Rob, watch the series. Watch the series. He is a great teacher. I'm not surprised. You know, I think you need... I always think to lead in life, you just need that bit of personality, don't you? You can't rule with a big stick anymore. You could at one time, but people now, if they're any good, can choose where to work. You know, if you're a talented, capable member of staff, you choose where you ply your trade. I firmly believe that. And therefore, just saying do that or else ain't going to cook the mustard anymore. You've got to inspire, and you've got to make sure that you can lead in other ways than a big stick. You've got to offer some carrots, and these donkeys would love some carrots. I'm sure they would. So yeah, we're all getting ready for Westmorland next week. We're all getting ready for Penistone on the Saturday. There's lots of things to wash. There's lots of things to groom, the trailers to clean, paperwork to sort. You know that you don't just wake up one day and say, "Oh, today you kick me," and you're, well, no. She just swung her backside round at me. Then I thought she was going to give me both barrels. She's just got something of the night about her, that one. What's she called? Pearl. Alice is a much nicer mare. John says Channel 4. And Chris loved watching Josh, so talented. Rita says it's cold and wet in Cleckheaton. And Lindsay says, how's the red squirrels doing? Dale is filming a video on the red squirrels. Exciting news about to break regarding them. Keep watching. Some of these things we'll cover on the podcast. Some of these things we'll cover on Facebook videos. Some of these things we'll cover on YouTube. Consider subscribing to follow us on YouTube. Something we're going to be doing more of. But Facebook is our first love, and we would never ever neglect it. So yeah, that's something that we're continuing to explore. It's starting to rain now. It's just that sort of day, isn't it? It's gonna rain a bit. It's gonna be fine a bit. It's gonna be, a day when if you took a time lapse camera over 12 hours, I would imagine you'll go from, not far off brown to green if you're looking at the grass. So, and it is needed. I'm the last person who ever wants rain. I love dry weather. I love it. I love the sunshine. So let's just have a look down here. Put my hood up. Protect my phone a little bit. I'll put it a bit nearer to me. Put my glasses on. So this is the cattle handling system below us. There's Charlie there, who's feeding the reindeer. Exciting news on the reindeer front coming up. Exciting news on the Shire horse front. Soon all that area in front of me will be demolished, and it will be replaced with 4 Shire pens, which are a bit smaller, but there'll be an exercise arena, or maybe even 2, where the horses will be given time to exercise right through the winter months. And then further down there's the cows and the calves that are all grazing away. And so on and so forth. Right, let's move indoors because it's a bit wet out here. So we're now in the bottom barn, and this is a visitor's eye view. So we're just looking down and appreciating what's before us. We've got 3 short-horn cows, 2 of which had twins, and then the other one's a bit thin. So she's one who's benefiting from a little bit of extra food. We've got Sultan, who unfortunately is not going to Westmorland. He's got a bruised foot again. It's not an abscess. We've had the footman out, but it's a bruise, and there's no point pushing him. I think every time he bulls a cow, he just sort of makes himself a little bit tender. So which obviously is not what we want. So we're just he's on sort of bed rest at the moment, away from the cows. I think they'll mostly be bulled anyway now. Tracy says, Patsy Olsen, about $4.49 in the USA a month. That must be to become a supporter. And Pat says, thank you. Which will be better, Facebook or YouTube? On a Dalston farm, I prefer Facebook. Jules says, wow, amazing, new things to come. And Mary says, thank you. Eileen says, it's very dark and wet here in the Isle of Wight. It's not that sparkling here, I'm afraid. So, there's Ruth mucking the donkeys out down there. There's some Shorthorn heifers, there's some Highland heifers. And, yeah, it's all tootling along nicely. Nothing very exciting. One thing that we're doing this morning, we're making the final selection for the sheep to go to Westmorland and to Penistone. So, flushed with our success from Carlisle on Saturday, where we managed to get champion Ram Lamb, and did really well. Drew a lot of admiring glances from other breeders and viewers from all around the country. Lots of messages on Facebook saying sheep look great, so on and so forth. So really successful. So next week we will be filming an episode of the Yorkshire Bet up at Westmorland. So that's going to be fun. Going to be exciting. I'll just put my seatbelt on. So we're going with Adam, the producer, director, camera operative, and someone who we've worked with since the start of lockdown. And he heads up now a lot of the aspects of the Yorkshire Bet. So we're going with him. We'll be taking part in all sorts of shenanigans, and Dale's also coming with us. Henry's coming to film an episode of the podcast. So we're going mob-handed to Westmorland. So and to Penistone as well. What's happened here? Oh, handbrake was still on ever so slightly. So there's Charlie coming out of the reindeer pen. He's fed his pals. He's mucked them out. He's now moving on to bigger things, literally. So let's have a quick flick round here. So we've just seen this Magic Man there. There's the llama with its little crea that we're still bottle feeding. Is that what's he called, that horse? Spotlight. He's still outside. He's in the spotlight with Lily, with Alice, and the other one that he was mating last week. And then there's the Alpacas and Bob the donkey there. It's just a bit of drizzle. And then Blossom. And so, like I said, we've got quite a lot of building works to push on with in the very near future. We've got who else have we got? The Pumpkin Festival. We've obviously got that to set up. So Dick and Coles are going to be busy. There's Blossom. Looking really well, aren't you, Flower? Eh? Don't think she's ever looked better. And then we've got here we are, Ruby, looking really sleek, isn't she? She's looking champion. And then mother and daughter, Silver and Brooke. Silver's on the left, Brooke's on the right. Brooke is a big horse, not as big as Grace. And Grace is away at Harry's, hopefully becoming pregnant, but we'll know that in the very near future. And then we've got Sapphire and Yorkshire Rose. Yorkshire Rose is having time away from her mum. It's part of the weaning process. Just becoming a little bit less reliant on each other. Just getting the chance to eat her own hard feed and get used to not needing, being as reliant on that. So Blossom's following us round, and yeah, that's sort of the gist of it. Just a little bit dreary, isn't it? Here comes Charlie.
Possibly thunderstorms.
I think I'd leave them where they are, Charlie.
Yeah.
Can I give you that? That's from last night. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Are you going to bring Blossom back into her paddock when she's eaten up? Yeah. I think it's an indoor play. Yeah. Charlie's just asking, and I'm just giving him my opinion. I think it's an indoor play day. I know it's great to be out, but there's no point Yorkshire Rose charging around, slipping over, and then not being able to go to Penistone next week. So, anyway, that's hopefully not going to happen. So we'll tootle up here, and we'll go and have a look at the pumpkin patch and how it's evolving. We'll look at the Highland cattle, which are still out in one half of the pumpkin patch field, or the tractor trailer ride field, but we've put an electric fence across the middle of it. We're feeding the Highlands hay. We're feeding nearly everything hay outside at the moment, but that might change next week now with the advent of this damper weather. I don't think the late summer / autumn is finished, good weather wise. I think we'll still have good days in amongst, but I think there is much more of a prospect of a bit of a mixture. So that's what we've got, and to be fair, we sort of need it. Just a little bit of an insight into what does it mean for a livestock farmer when you get a summer like this. It means you start feeding hay early, and it means you're buying copious amounts of those energy buckets, because the only way we can get the sheep fit enough for tupping, because we've not got any grass, is to feed them hay, which really we were saving for the winter. There's Dale and Georgie and Emma there filming a video in the squirrel enclosure, so wait for that one to come out. I'll not spoil it. And there's the Highlands with the hay. So what they've done, they've pulled it all out, and now they're eating it off the floor, so there's plenty to eat. The grass will start to grow now. We've got the donkeys, we've got some of the llamas still out, and then we've got the pumpkin patch. We'll probably stick the chain arrow over this today, and then we've ordered some more wood chip to put on the paths, so that you wouldn't think we'd need it at the moment, but just so we can weatherproof the event. So that's something to look forward to. This will be transformed by the time the pumpkin festival sort of comes round. We're just taking you now on a tour of the. This is the route of the tractor trailer ride. So if you just shut your eyes, imagine this is a tractor, and we're actually doing that ride. David and Dick and Cozy have built the bonfire. I think at the moment that's the bonfire. It's not as big as last year, but whether they've got some more timber to put on or not, I don't know. But anyway, that's where we are with that. And the wood chip was ordered yesterday. That's coming early next week. That'll be down next week. And then they'll start building the photo ops, and then the pumpkins will arrive. We'll put them all out, and then we'll decorate the pumpkin room, and all of a sudden it'll be pumpkin time. So it really is, it's just incredible. Does anyone else feel that it's incredible how quickly the year seems to fly by? The older you get, the faster it goes, and really you're wanting to say slow down, please, because every year you're getting a year older, but the world keeps turning, and it seems to spin ever faster. But I'm sure it doesn't. It's just the way it appears to work. So Highland cattle are all sat out there, living their best lives, doing what they do best. Outside areas, and we would love, and we've been trying to buy some more land so that we can house the Highlands out for a bigger part of the year, because obviously we've only got the land we've got. But anyway, we're continuing to try and to look at that. But at the moment they're very happy on here. They're getting extra feed because the grass has stopped growing. But like I said, this wet weather will encourage it to turn green again, and that overflow car parking grass area there has changed colour in a few hours. That was brown yesterday. So that's an old reservoir. This bunch of trees here there's a little pond in there, and that used to be the reservoir that supplied the wall garden with water throughout the year. That was their contingency. Right, let me just put my glasses on and read a few comments while we look at the Highland cattle. Right, so autumn has arrived, but still a beautiful place. Exactly. Oh, there's a lot to love about autumn, isn't there? Right, that's Coco, and she always has a good calf, Coco. That's Lady, who has very, very feminine Highland horns. There's Gary the donkey and Cynthia and Daffodil up there. There's Hetty and Lilibet down by the feeder. Mandy says summer has flown by. It has. Shell thinks this year has gone quickly. Andrea says Sue Presnell into the woods. Mary says yes, definitely, but I love this time of year. And Carol says Christmas. Carol, my 90-year-old dad says Christmas comes round like the weekend. I know exactly what he means. Carol says Richard at Hall Hill Farm has his herd of Highlands out all year, but they have a lot of woodland. Exactly, that's what we ideally would have. But you've only got what you've got. I'm going to inquire about some grazing actually today that we might be able to drop onto. I've got a few ideas, a few irons in the fire. Carol says yes, he has adopted him, reared him, and he has another foal, Yorkshire Rosa Grey. She's now with Mum. Marlene says shops haven't long, but put Christmas away now. The range have it out and priced. So the range have got Christmas stuff out. Janet says I hope all the grass grows to help re your winter feeding, because everything will go up this winter because of lack of rain. Yeah. It really is, I say it a lot. We do what we do, and we couldn't do what we do without you guys coming to visit us. You pay your admission fee. Hopefully, in return, we give you a grand day out. That is very much what we want to do, strive to do, and hopefully achieve. And that helps balance the books. If the rain doesn't fall, then I don't know. We'll feed straw, we'll buy corn, we'll do whatever we have to do to keep job right. But if you're a farmer, someone like Rowan or Gordon next door or Tom, all the people that we work with in terms of, we have some other animals down at their farms as well. They're at the cold face, aren't they? They've got to cope with the vagaries of the weather. And they've got to balance the books and make it pay. So to me they're absolute heroes. And anyone who can forge a living through farming alone is sometimes they're pushing water uphill. Julie says when are the shires due to fall, please, Rob? Julie Mosley. Right, the shires are due to fall. I think probably the first one in February, I would think. And I would think that might be Silver and Brook will probably be the first. And then probably Sapphire and Blossom. They'll be sort of May time. April, May time. And then I'd say Ruby's probably May, June. And then there's just a chance that we can grab a little foal from Gracie to end the summer with. That's the plan. Kelvin says my grandfather yes to me that as you get older the years go faster. Couldn't agree more. Christine's thanking Tanya, and Janice says don't you get all the donkeys in when it's raining as they don't like the rain. Well, the older donkeys have got no foals. And Gary, and they, I think if we were in October and November, we'd have them in. But a bit of a summer shower doesn't do them any harm. Keeps the coat nice. Excuse me. They're on their way across to stand under the trees. Can you see? So So yeah, I mean we'll watch them, but at the moment there's nothing in this drizzle that would cause them any consternation. You know, you got to be careful with donkey foals. You don't want pneumonia. Got to be careful with everything, haven't you? Really, but some animals are more equipped to cope with bad weather than others. You know, you get your native breeds; they've been bred for that reason, haven't they? They are what they are for a reason. So right, we'll tootle around here. There's a pheasant scurrying across the track, and then in the 12 acre, we've just bear with me. Let me put you down here. We'll have a little trip and show you what we went up to yesterday. Because we knew this weather was coming, so we've managed to get a little bit of muck spreading done. We're reseeding the white mare field. That'll be ploughed in the next day or two, and then hopefully put straight back in with a new grass lay, which will hopefully grow far more plentifully than the old tired pasture would have done. You know, that's you know, try and reseed one field every year at least, just to keep your pastures vibrant and productive. You know, they can get too old sometimes. So it was an opportunity to put plenty of muck on, plough that in, work it up, drill the grass, and hopefully in a month's time we'll have some sheep on nibbling that. You know, it's not too late to get some benefit from that for this year. So we'll have a little ride up here and show you a few bits and bobs. So we've put the muck on at just the right time, really, because obviously this will start the process of washing the nutrients down into a needy soil. You know, a soil that should have lots of pent-up energy in it, that's all sat there ready to grow once it gets the moisture to do so. So we're still very hopeful we can get the benefit of a late flush of grass, and it will help. But it sort of won't. You can't undo what's happened. You can't. You know, the wheat yield, the crops and the barley and everything that's been down on yield, you know, will always be down on yield now, won't it? The grass can spring back to life and be useful, but you can't get those bales of hay that you're short of in the barn. So yeah, it's still going to leave a tricky legacy. Just let this car come through. So we will turn right. Just go up here. So we'll get out here and just have a look. Cool. And this is it's a really good job actually that they've done. It's Philip Penrose is our contractor for sort of haymaking and muck spreading and that sort of thing. Make sure there's nothing coming. Right, and first and foremost, let me show you some of the lambs that were born. These are mostly April lambs. Now weaned from the mums. They're looking champion, aren't they? We brought them here onto a fresh pasture, and obviously this bit of rain will mean that the grass gets growing ahead of them. You know, so. They're all Dutch spotted crosses, these, and they're looking well. Very, very pleased with them. So we've got across here. Let me cross the road safely. Now you can see two different types of muck spreading. We've got some muck on here that's just a nice little sprinkle, Can you see he's just dusted it on, and he's done a really nice job. You know, that's pretty much as you'd want it. The grass can still see through the muck, and it can still peep through, and it'll grow away now. There's no dramas, and that'll do really nicely. And then I'm just trying to find where we are. Victoria says, "Wow, great to see the wean lambs doing so well, and grass is turning green again." Exactly. You know, this is so different in 24 hours. And then if you look at this, he's put a bit more on this. Excuse me. And this is ready to plough now. Another of our farming pals, Martin, who we actually filmed with for My Great Yorkshire Life. We did a really nice film. We thought it was nice. We enjoyed it. And hopefully you'll enjoy it when those programmes hit the screens. You know, we've done those this summer, and they've been loads of fun to do. So he'll be ploughing that, working it up, drilling it with grass, and hopefully in a month's time we'll have some of the sheep on there nibbling away, doing really well. And then in the far field you see a few sheep in the distance there, the January lambers. They're in lamb and ready to rock and roll. So we're looking after those really carefully. So just a little bit of an insight into what's going on up and down the farm, and how we're doing our best to preserve the grazing that we've got. So right, let's jump back in. You know, obviously if you've got better things to do than tootle around here and look at stuff like this, you know, crack on. But I just thought we'd do something a little bit different, observing all safety precautions and making sure that we're doing things safely. So I'm gonna reverse back. Oops. Put the window down so I just clean the wing mirror. I'll wait for this car to come now. So 8:20. So here goes. Setting off. Put your seatbelts on. Come along for the ride if you're interested. So we're just going down here. We're going to turn around down by Gordon's farm because it's the safest place to do it. And I'm going to drive back, and then we're going to tootle up the wood and just have a look what's occurring up there. See if we can see any wildlife. So, what are we? Early September. I suppose there was always a day of reckoning, wasn't there? I've loved the dry weather, really have. But even I can see the need for a wet day or two. But it'd be nice to think, wouldn't it, that if we had a bit of rain now, that we'd still got something of an Indian summer to look forward to. I think there is better weather on the horizon this weekend. Those people who are interested in Gabby. Does anyone have any children who like Gabby's Doll's House? I think it's Gabby we've got this weekend. And I'll be taking Nellie and Jimmy to see Gabby. So wish me luck. And that's all happening on Saturday and Sunday at Cannon Hall Farm. I think Nellie is a Gabby fan. So and lots of other Gabby fans are going to flock to Cannon Hall Farm this weekend and hopefully make it a day of celebration. There are also farm tickets available, so those of you who don't want to see Gabby and just want to see the animals will still be able to come at no extra cost to normal, and there's no extra cost to see Gabby either. So it really is a win-win. If you like Gabby and you want to photo and get to meet her, then Cannon Hall Farm is the place to be. So now driving back past the lambs and past the muck spreaded field. And really, I only rang him on, what day was it yesterday? Tuesday. I only rang him on Monday to see about muck spreading, and he's there next day. So you can't grumble about it. And some of those muck spreaders are like the size of a house. You know, the colossal. So right, here goes. So we're turning right. again. Let me show you. 2 more fields, and we'll get the benefit of this very, very soon. Let me just scroll up here. There we are. Look at that. So again, he's put that light dusting and muck on. So just enough to put some nutrients into the ground. That added to this bit of rain this morning. You can see that grass turned from brown to green almost before our eyes. You know, that was totally brown yesterday, and it's already halfway to green now. So hopefully that'll do a good job. Yeah, I saw a muntjac deer here earlier this year. I've never seen one of them on the farm before. We often see roe deer. Let's see if there's anything up here now. We'll have a little bit of a tootle up, and we've got plans for this neck of the woods. All will be revealed in the not too distant future. So lots of hares up here. I don't know why. Not something that I've always seen. The beehives are normally here, but they're up at the where do you call it? They're up on the moors at the moment. And again, we'll just turn round and then just put you down while I turn around. So let's just have a little bit of a spin around. So the jobs that we've got in front of us, it's good for me just to remind me of this. It's Westmorland show next week, so we're selecting sheep this morning, Philip and I, possibly David, hopefully Dad if he gets a chance to get up and help us. Penistone show, we're picking ones for there as well. We've got the Murphy the bull and Lynn the cow to wash for both Westmorland and Penistone. We're taking Sapphire and Yorkshire Rose to Penistone. What else are we doing? We're getting ready for the Pumpkin Festival. There's new signage going up at the farm entrance. There's what else? And then we're starting work soon on the new exercise areas for the Shire horses down at the bottom of the farm. So there's loads of different projects that we're working on. You know, the common theme is just making everything a bit better, and then there'll be a new farm entrance and a new gift shop to build sometime in the next probably 18 months. So there's loads of stuff floating about in the pipeline, loads of stuff waiting to be done. You know, new reindeer accommodation is firmly on the agenda, and new farm buildings as well. So yeah, watch this space. There's hopefully a new series of Winter on the Farm. I think that they're discussing that at the moment. It's not over the line yet, but hopefully it's going to happen. And then we'd love to think we could do springtime again. That would be our 9th year of. I think it would be our 9th year of springtime, which when we first kicked off all those years ago, when Dave's hair were a lot blacker and mine was slightly more plentiful, then you know, we would have you know, we wouldn't have believed that, would we? So yeah, lots and lots of exciting stuff to look forward to. So we're arriving back up at the roundhouse now. We'll just have a look at the roundhouse next. We'll go up the steps and just show you what's going on and what we're picking from, really. You know, and then we've got Alid, the sheep trimmer, coming on Sunday. He's going to trim up the ones that we're showing. I'd love to be able to do that myself, but it looks it looks a painstaking job, and I think the way he does it would be 10 times quicker and probably 10 times better than anything I could do. Although, watch this space. On television, providing they use it, and I'd be disappointed if they don't, on television this autumn will be me shearing a sheep, right? with a twist. So wait for that. I'll let you know when it's on, because I was pretty chuffed with it. You know, I didn't think I'd be able to do it, but did it, I did, and that will be there for all to see. So right, we've got a big pile of straw, some Dutch spotted sheep, and we will be picking our aged ewes and shearlings out of those. Another big pile of straw, so someone needs to... That's way too much, really. Someone needs to get round and spread this out. I'll do it myself when I finish the broadcast, actually. That's our new champion ram. Might do a video on him, actually. Bought him on Saturday. He was the overall male champion. I'll not spoil that, though. I'll do a video with Dale introducing him to you and a little bit about him. Right, these are gimmers, and we'll be picking some of these out to trim up and show at Westmorland and Penistone. Underneath those woolly fleeces, oops, he's got a cough. There's some fantastic sheep. See, that one's been trimmed up for a previous show. She's smart. And then with an empty pen, got some ram lambs there. Some of those will be shown, and then some more ram lambs in here. We need to pick through those. Some of those will go to be rams for commercial flocks. You know, like just people who are producing lambs. You know, ordinary crossbred lambs. So there's some really impressive lads in there that are all girding the loins, ready to work, ready to do the job. You know, they've been bred for that job. Mary says, what programme will it be on? It'll be on A Farmhouse Through Time. And who's coughing, says Marlene. It was a gimmer. Are you doing an auction at the farm again, says Barbara? We are. We're going to do an on-farm auction. It's basically a reduction, because obviously we breed a lot of pedigree sheep, and some of these rams will be at the reduction sale, although it's a little bit too late in the year for rams. Certainly a lot of the females will, and we think it's a really efficient way of finding, you know, appropriate new pedigree homes for these sheep, because, you know, people come to you rather than us going to lots of different markets, travelling up and down the country. Sometimes you sell them, sometimes you don't. It's time consuming, and it's time that we don't always have. Whereas if we just organise an on-farm sale, then you know, people come to us, the auctioneer comes to us. It's all done very professionally. You guys, if you're visiting on that day, can see it, and hopefully, you know, you'll enjoy it as well. So Yvonne Helen says, Helmsley is as beautiful as you, said Rob. I went yesterday, thank you. Grand, I'm so glad you enjoyed it. We were there for a couple of days last week. We had a lovely time. I always do. It's where we go. You know, we don't go abroad so much. Just nip up to Helmsley every month or two for a couple of days, and it's a nice place just to go and you know, see some fresh scenery. You know a lot of people up there now as well, so it's always nice to go and catch up with those folks and just, you know, just do something a little bit different. Right, so thank you very much for watching, everyone. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's a little bit of a steadier pace today. You know, we've had to accept that it's not a day for turning the baby donkeys out. It's more of you know, an indoor play. I think that probably sums it up as well as anything. So from Farmer Rob on an indoor play day at Cannon Hall Farm. Hope you're well. hope you're enjoying yourselves, and hope that everything in your lives is going as well as it possibly can. And we will catch up with you again on Sunday, if not before. I'm going to have a day's fishing, I think, tomorrow. I'm going to go to Whitby, I think, tomorrow, Thursday or Friday anyway. Just keep looking at the weather. Try and pick a day when the sea's calm. And but I'll definitely be back with you on Sunday. We've got Westmorland show next week, and like I said, we'll be doing a podcast from there. Richard's actually, I've arranged for Richard to do a cookery demonstration at Westmorland, so we'll try and film that as well, so that you guys can see that. And there's some real big hitters on the stage with him. It's a really good show. We're doing a podcast from there. We're filming an episode of the Yorkshire Vet from there. We'll also be filming on YouTube and on Facebook for you guys, so you can see what we're up to. And there's just a little bit of a rumour that I might be doing a little bit of wrestling, so watch this space. Farmer Rob, Cannonall Farm, a little bit damp, but not dispirited, and looking forward to a productive day, choosing sheep to go to these shows and doing all the other stuff that needs doing to get ready for the Pumpkin Festival. So from me to you, cheerio, have a great day, and bye bye.